Yep. We're live. What up, Twitch? Grab your dice and throw a snowball, because we're snowed in tonight, and we're ready to play some Dungeons & Dragons here on a Tuesday night. Welcome to the PU2 channel. Tonight we will be doing the Unbeaten Path, another session into that, which is PS Zombies creation here on this channel. For playing that, we are on session 48 of that, so we welcome you to that. We welcome PS Zombie. This is your kind of creation, and we're happy to play another chapter of it. So without further ado, I will kick it over to him. PS Zombie, how's your snow day going?
Well, it's going all right. I have been pretty much full-time babysitting the last 2 days, so it's been a challenge and an adventure. But yeah, today was very fun. It was nice to have the rare winter wonderland in our neck of the woods.
It was quite the flurry.
Yeah, when it was coming down, it was coming down.
Yeah, it's proper.
But then it disappeared like really fast. We tried to go out for a walk in the afternoon, and like everything that fell on the road was already melted. And a lot of the yards had to. It's like,
it's kind of a 2 to 3-ish situation.
Gone too soon.
That's right. Yeah, it was light enough dusting. My kids were just like, "What's going on?" All right, I'm gonna go inside.
What
now.
is this?
Yeah, that's basically it.
It's so cold. It hurts.
Yes, it does. I am in a basement, or like a split level, kind of, and it is very cold. Like, fully bundled up like I'm outside right now.
I was noticing that. You looked cozy.
Yeah.
Probably doesn't help that you got that exterior door that on that wall near you, too.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Drafty.
A little drafty much.
It's just a hollow metal door.
Yeah, if you don't use it, seal it up.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes.
This is very ethereal music from the roll.
I forgot I had that on. I can't usually hear it very well.
That the DM is blessing my ears with.
I had it muted.
It's very ethereal.
Well, I did switch it off the Vampire Castle just recently.
Because we are no longer the Vampire Castle, because we have died.
You guys are hearing music?
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, that's how I feel sometimes. Sorry, I'm finishing up one last thing.
You're good.
Like I said, I've been having some art challenges. It's sad that that's what I waste most of my time on, but
I need to do
for me, it's like really important for my inversion. So like,
I
end up spending way too much time on this stuff.
I was telling my other group about how it was cool to have like consistently nice looking battle maps. That's just like a part of it. It does feel good. I mean, you do a good job of lining up like grids to them and stuff. I don't know how that's done, but
well, thank you. I do.
Ain't easy.
I do enjoy that aspect of it. Just because, like, that's one of my favorite things about, like, just playing D&D and DMing D&D is, like, the kind of immersion, like, putting yourself in a place, like, for a little bit, and when I have, like, a nice battle map or whatever, or interesting characters, I'm just, like, even me as the DM knowing everything that's going on, I'm like, ooh, I wonder what's this about? What's in that? What's this? What could this be?
Yeah. That's an important part of DMing. Is being interested in your own stuff.
Climate,
Dang it, he said.
Your old computer like still knows that I'm not you. It's always like you're not Climate.
And
throws up
it's
random
pissed off.
stuff. Yeah.
Oh no.
It'll be like, what's the pin? And I'm like, this isn't a time to ask me the pin. I just open a browser. It's like, no, I know you're not Climate. Don't try to browse. And I'm like, this is not the time to do this.
Yeah.
That's weird, man.
Yeah. It's still, it fights
I
me from time to time.
Cleared all that stuff off there.
It's alright. It just wants you. That's the reality of it. It
Yeah.
just misses you. It wants you.
You're not Papa.
I'm not a sub. PU2 is not a sub for Climate, so there we go.
You heard it here first, folks.
That's it. He's one of a kind. I'll do a little plug while we get some airtime for the channel. You can find us on all the things. We're on TikTok now, even after it's came back.
Back again.
We're still there.
There and back again.
Never left,
right.
frankly.
What a 12-hour
Did-
roller coaster as a
Didn't
country
have
went
time
on
to
for
leave.
that. Then we're also on Twitch. We're also got a YouTube channel where we archive all of our stuff that you can catch up on. And we're also on all the Facebooks, Instagrams, and X all there. Last week, we actually did another chapter of our One Piece inspired story, our homebrew called Piece of Eight. We did a kind of sub one-shot in that story that was really fun, where we explored one of the background characters and went to a Scottish-like setting in an island. So that was very fun. Little one-shot.
I heard there were thrills, chills, and deaths in that one.
There was. Yeah, spoiler is that not all the characters make it, so you might want to go back and check that out.
Yeah, you can check the PU2 Discord channel and
So
see
sad.
my adorable little girl character who died a horrible death.
That's right. But now we're back to reality. Oops, there goes gravity. Because here we are at Unbeaten Path.
I like how my campaign is considered reality.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
I guess
No, this
everything's
is really
compared.
high-
Now back to the real world.
We did level up in this one. So I currently, as a
Yeah.
player, am leveling myself up.
I think we're going to
I forgot.
7, probably, right?
Cool. Yeah, what are
Yeah.
we going to? Good question.
Well,
It is
I
7.
banked on people probably doing that in this session, and you could even potentially do it at the end of this session.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Sort of a
without
buffer
spoiling
time.
too much, there's kind of like lore reasons that would be acceptable.
I think I remember looking at it last time and going,
I gotta
think
put
that
another jacket
it's
on.
literally nothing. Yeah. I have very little to learn here at 7th level.
Okay, so I need to pause. It sounds like the DM's advised lore reasons there may
No,
be.
no, I'm just. Oh yeah, I mean you can do it if you want to.
Well, I'm gonna belay the.
I think
I'm gonna belay the order.
I'm figuring it out in my mind. And I might roll for HP just for
I
fun.
might want to do a feat.
Oh, we were rolling 1d420 as one does at the start of a thing, and somebody got a nat 420. We were very hyped about that.
Pretty awesome.
Middle of the pack.
Roll 420 d69.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
My
you
HP.
say-
Oh, he's
Off.
getting
Nice.
dice rolls.
Wait, did we roll for HP? I can't remember.
You take
I don't remember either.
I think we did average. Did we
Average.
not? No, we rolled. You're right. You rolled because we rolled. Because I remember I got screwed a couple level ups ago.
Yeah. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
And I would never be screwed
It has
on an
happened.
average. I would just be disappointed on average. So
Well, you can't hardly roll much better than average, like, because it's slightly better than average. It's rounded up, so it's like on the margins you're really not gonna hit that,
But you could.
but you could.
It's like Vegas odds, baby. There's a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
It
can
is
do
kind of
reroll
like Vegas.
ones. It's fine with me.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a 3.
I like to roll big.
Yeah.
That's what's got me in Monopoly Go right now. I like to roll big.
That's funny.
Chris Pratt got him into Monopoly.
That's true. Yeah. I do whatever Chris Pratt tells me.
He does the commercials for the. If you all didn't know.
That's funny. No, I don't. I haven't seen a commercial in years.
All right, can y'all hear
Is there
my
any
heater in the back?
strategy to Monopoly? Really?
I cannot hear your heater.
What are you talking about? I can hear you.
My
your
my
heater.
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 I do not hear it.
Great. All right, let's try to get into this as best we can remember. So, y'all suffered your death. Never mind my heater, anyways. In the last go of it, in the last session, and kind of as you passed as is typical, you started feeling this strange falling up sensation that you normally get upon a death and return to the beginning of the path. But this time there was a different sensation where you felt pulled to the side, yanked out of the typical pattern. And I believe that's just, we ended on pretty much just that. Or maybe the smiling man said something about, like, where are you going? Where are you going?
Yeah, I think he said something like, "Oh, I've lost you. What you've met with a terrible fate, haven't you?" So at least he could get it in there, you know.
I do love tossing it in there.
Give the people what they want.
That's right. They're desperate for it. All right, I'm going to try to switch over to my headphones now, real quick. Just.
Speaking of TikTok, everybody like my TikTok shirt? This was a gift from PU2's wife.
Yes, I do enjoy it. Very fun. I think I saw that at family dinner, and I appreciated silently. Now I'm appreciating vocally. It's a good shirt.
The fact I can bring it to family dinner is a joy to me. I'm not censored to do my own.
Okay, how we feeling?
Absolutely. Yeah. Freedom of speech.
That's right.
Yep.
Right. Then let us continue. All right. So as you feel this yanked away from the norm, you feel this rapid movement of not your body, but of your experience, like of your mind, of your sensations. And all that persists for a moment, and then absolute stillness. But conscious stillness, at least for a moment. And then flickers of entering bodily consciousness. And with this, I'd like all of you to roll a perception.
Fantastic.
So a big one.
Can't stop me from seeing whatever this
A
is.
small one. A medium one. Lots of ins
We're
here.
everywhere.
All right, so this is, you'll give me a moment, affecting something in the background. But I am going to go ahead and express things from Karis's viewpoint, obviously, because he's
the one perceiving.
Gotten the most out of this. So you feel yourself laying on a cold metal table. You feel very similarly to the moment right before you died. Like, you know you are in a bad way and about as dead as you were mere moments ago, as opposed to being the typical path of reviving you like it had made a fresh clone of you. Like, not an ache in your body generally, but this is much different. You feel spent. You can't pinpoint exact injury per se, but you can tell that you're on death's door. You're not able to open your eyes or to move, but through your eyelids you can sense very bright lights above you shining down on you, and you can hear busy shuffling of various implements and overlapping voices in this very cold and exposed state you are in. I'll get back to that in a minute. Alibaba, you never come to any semblance of consciousness. We are going to address what's going on with you in the near future. But you sense nothing. And Amubis, you kind of blip in and out. You also get a flash of the coldness, the lights, murmurs, but nothing you can discern and piece together to an experience.
Murmurs.
Yes.
Yes. Murmurs.
It's all moves to you.
Yeah.
Impossible to discern.
I think we've been abducted by aliens.
Yes, you can actually understand these voices around you. Not yes, you are, but yes, not dissimilar experience. Yes, and you can hear many secondary voices speaking to a primary voice, and him demanding, "Where did you find them?" And them replying, "They were just found outside in this state." It's like, why bring them to me? They're basically dead. People die every day. And the voice says, "Sir, we've ran some tests, and they're leveled." And there's kind of a pause for a moment. He goes, "Do you know how rare that is? These are people probably we shouldn't be messing with. That we can't find them in any database, sir." You're not proposing that we experiment on them. Sir, we need someone. And they're here. They're leveled. We can test out the engines. And then a rather long pause, you gather, as... do we keep you on voice or just video?
Oh, he's off. Voice too.
Yeah, he's kind of the one hearing this, so I'm going to wait for him to come back.
That's fair.
Let's see how much he lost.
Yeah, he's gone from the stream.
Gone forever.
Hello, I'm back. Hello.
Hello.
Return.
I think I stopped when you left.
Okay, I thought that maybe
Because I was like,
there
you're
was
the
a
one
chance
hearing this, so I wanted
it was
to
a really,
wait.
really coordinated effort, and like that was meant to happen in the thing. I thought because like there was some
that'd
weird
be cool
like
if I was that
visual
mean. I
glitch
was
as
like,
well.
kick him now.
I was like, oh, I'm out. Like I'm gone.
Amazing. I wish I was that good at doing it.
But yeah, I think I heard.
Yes. So, the primary voice finally says, "All right, very well. We'll probably kill them anyways. So, I mean, they're just sitting around if we don't use them." He says, "Prep them for surgery." And you Karos, you finally managed to open your eyes just a smidge, and you see yourself surrounded by people in smocks, wearing white masks over their mouths and bonnets over their hair, and you can feel them shuffle you out of the room on this table that you now realize is on wheels. And just as you are losing the last of your consciousness, as your eyes fade from view, you see one of the individuals pull down his mask, and you see a very familiar smile and unusual bob haircut as you blink out of consciousness. And we'll continue from here.
Is it weird that I am reassured by that?
I mean, it's someone with a vested interest in you. I think that's not
Yeah,
unusual.
they never done me wrong before.
Depends on if you think they're messing with you, but even if they are, is that so bad? What's wrong with being messed with? All right.
Well, I don't know anything. I'm unconscious.
You are unconscious.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Oh, I haven't pulled the stream.
Gotta do that.
How loud is my music? Is it too loud?
It is a little loud.
Because I keep I turned it down. I might just turn it off. I don't really need it right now. I'll save it for combat
Cool
or whatever.
map, though. I like
It was
that.
Endless Voyage. Ooh.
Get that
Okay,
right
one
on
second.
the
I'll pull this up here.
That's cool.
Man.
I like that.
1 second.
We got hit by a truck, and now we're isekai.
Just doing something on my phone that's not pulling up a second Twitch stream.
What?
That would be cheating.
All our views are authentic.
Illegal.
Folks.
That's right. Okay. So, you... So, Karos and Anubis. You are in a dreamless state of unconsciousness when a single word enters your mind, and in almost like an echoing metallic space, it just says ignition, and boom, you're instantly awake. No foggy mind, no foggy vision. You snap to it and find yourself in a cold, sterile, metal room. You can see beneath you is a metal table. Surrounding you are metal walls. Ahead of you is a glass door. There are various instruments that are... Well, we can see how scrutable they are to you. So,
I would love
both
to
of you,
them.
why don't you give me an investigation or medicine check? I will accept either.
Much better investigation person.
Cool.
Oof.
So, there's going to be a variety of things here. Some of them are going to be familiar to you, and others aren't. There's some universal appearing things,
I
looking
recognize
devices,
bandages and such.
gloves. There are things that have
I'm not in my
existed
armor, am I? Am
your
I in
map or
like a smock, my own self?
Yes, you are not in your armor, notably. In fact, if you want to examine thyself, you may do another investigation or medicine check.
Let me see where I'm at.
Terrific. And the same for you, Anubis. You guys got about the same on the first one, so you can recognize that the tools that you recognize are medical tools. And indeed, while maybe each individual thing you wouldn't necessarily know what it was for, you get surprised. This isn't like a torture chamber. This isn't a embalming procedure, but these are for medical testing. Yeah, very nice. I think that's good enough that you guys kind of give yourself the once over. And Karos, you are not in your armor. You kind of give yourself a pat over. I would say you both probably have a tube connected to a bag and a needle in your arm. This exists in your world rarely, but yes, there's Ivy is scrutable to you. though perhaps bloodletting is more common in a lot of the more rural areas.
Yeah, I see a big bag of blood next to me, and I'm like, damn it, they've taken so much.
But both of you have interacted with large enough cities and civilizations to know these. But yeah, you.
Where are the leeches?
Pointed ears. You can feel that you are yourself, and the same with the Mubis. You've got your fur, you've got your horns, you've got your snout. You are yourself, with one notable exception. As you kind of examine your body, on your chest, right over your heart, is a metal circle protruding out of your skin of something that seems to be embedded in you.
I am Iron
Man.
What does it feel like? What does it look like?
So it's warm to the touch. It's actually fairly inauspicious.
Yes. Inauspicious? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It is flat, kind of gunmetal gray. It only sticks out from your chest a tiny bit. It's almost flush. It has some grooves on the front but no scrutable way to open it. And I'd say like a serial number, just a string of 15 numbers that mean nothing to you. But it's not. It doesn't look all that remarkable, other than it's in your chest. And yeah, from your positions, neither of you can see each other. You are in a room that has a single vantage point, and that's a window.
Could we say anything to the window?
To the front of you. So yes, Amubis, no. You can just see a wall next to you. This 8 is a little off to the side here. But Karos, you can see a man standing there. A man who's probably in his late 50s, early 60s. And a kind of very weathered face, and many machine augments in himself. You can see that he has an additional metal arm coming out of his back. He has a illusory display that he can project, and it does periodically type something in it, and causes it to disappear. This is probably, I would imagine, not terribly shocking to you, in that in your Artificer's work, these are probably things that were all theorized and maybe even hoped for one day. like we want all people to have an arm on their back.
I sort of think I'm in the future. You know, there are enough things that I recognize with like enough dreams that I've had of the world where I'm like, the wall's made of steel, everything made of steel. You know.
Yeah. But apparently human, this person, and he has with him one of the masked individuals, similar attire to what you briefly saw when you were conscious earlier.
Can I get his attention? Is he looking at me?
Yeah, he's kind of been watching you move about, pat yourself down, but he has not attempted to engage you yet.
I'll give him a little wave and a like, can you come in? A beckoning. He's allowed to not respond.
You see him pull up his illusory display, type something in it, retract it again, and then nod to his aide, who presses a button on the wall next to their side of the door, and the glass that is between you seemingly disappears. He says, "I'd hoped that one of you might have survived. I wasn't quite prepared for all three, though I suppose your one friend isn't out of the woods yet."
They're here. Oh, that's wonderful. I was going to ask about them immediately. Where is here, and can I see them?
I'm afraid we have to do a few more studies, a little bit more examining on you before we can let you go. I'm ashamed to say we've done a little something to you without your consent, so you would have died without it, so I suppose there's only so much guilt I can accept for that.
Sorry, pardon the rude question. Are you real? Is this the path? Does that mean anything to you? Does it sound like buzzing when I say it?
He pulls up his display again, makes another note, pops it back down, and he goes, "I'm afraid the path means nothing to me, but as far as realness, based on what I know of this world, you're less likely to be real than I am."
So you don't feel any particular kind of pain or madness at the thought that you might not be real, and this might be a sort of world constructed by a sort of amorphous, semi-friendly odd dimension that doesn't do anything to you?
I think those concepts are intriguing, and I certainly could reveal more about you, but no, it doesn't seem to apply to us here at all.
Strange. Oh,
Is this path where you come from?
not originally, but certainly was where I was when I frankly died. Where did you find me? Us? We?
Well, we actually found you on our roof. I don't know if you fell from somewhere or were placed there, but we had one of our staff go up for a smoke, and there you were. By the way, my name is Dr. Leo Min. I am the head physician here at this is a Helios Medical Center. Does Helios mean anything to you?
It might be the name of one of the stars. But other than that, no.
Well, you, I'm afraid you're here on their charity today. Helios is the mega corporation that owns this, well, continent, to be frank.
Mega corporation?
Yes, it's like a for-profit entity that organizes people into efficient production.
Sounds ripe for abuse, but interesting.
You said it, not me.
Well,
And
my
he
name is
makes another note on his notepad.
my name is Karos Fester. I'm here with my two friends. You have Anubis and Alibaba. You said that one of them might be in danger. What's going on with them? When could I see?
When we've established you're not a threat, we can move forward. And I'm afraid you're going to have very little input in that, because the threat won't come from you personally, but from the weapon we implanted in you.
Sorry, I thought you said it was... Sorry. You said you put something in me to save me, and also it's a weapon?
Yes, I'm afraid it's it's hard to explain. I think I'd rather wait to see if I can explain it to you all together. If it's the same, I don't want to. I don't want to have to explain a very strange concept multiple times.
Yes, that does make sense.
So we'll run a few more tests on you.
Yes, I'm
one,
fine.
One of your friends has woken up, so if it's all right with you, I'll go check in with him, and we'll return shortly.
Yes, am I safe to do magic with this in? I was going to check things out.
You're more than welcome to try. I don't know there to be magic explicitly in this world, but if wherever you're from, magic is a thing, please do.
I'm gonna just go ahead and try to fire off a detect magic, just to see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing happens. You cannot seem to find the muscle to flex to detect magic.
Wow.
Yes, I suppose that ley lines aren't present or something. It's a strange feeling, Doctor.
Well, we'll get to the bottom of it.
Yes, go check on my friend. Is it the cow or the sort of devil man?
It's the cow. He
The cow.
presses a button to seal you back up. And Amubis, you see the same man as described. Move over to your in front of your cell.
Amubis does not like this. As established, he's very natural things have to, like being in a medical, being what worked on and stuff. This is not his element. He's like, the floors, the walls are made of metal. What is this? He's freaking out. There's things he doesn't understand, so that just makes him more angry. So he, I think, would wake up and start trying to claw at the device that's in him to try to undo it, but I'm sure that goes nowhere.
Yeah. Why don't you hit me with a sleight of hand to see how damaging it is to yank out your IV?
Ooh.
All right, so you pull it out rather hastily and get yourself a nice little spurt of blood, just a little geyser, which you immediately are like, oh crap, and apply pressure to it. But yeah, now there's a nice stripe of blood on your wall there. Just a meager 1 point of damage to you for that.
Okay.
But yeah, so like I said, you awoke in this room, and if you want to do something in that kind of interim, you maybe had a couple of minutes while Karos had his chat to be on your own in this room.
I think he would have stumbled and made a mess when he got up and thrashed about.
Sure.
And then he would try to go check the door. So you said that there's it's like a glass door, right? So I think he.
So there's no handle or anything. It's kind of just like a large window in a metal wall, but it's the only thing that isn't like the walls of your room. So yeah, you clatter around, knocking over stuff. You were already a little bit long for your bed. It's obviously not explicitly made for people of your dimensions. Yeah, you approach this glass door, and yeah, how do you want to approach it? Like I said, there's not a handle in particular. It's just kind of a big window.
I think I go up to it and just start to knock it a little bit. Seeing the glass, he thinks it's pretty breakable, right? So he's going to do some, like a punch or an unarmed strike against it.
Sure. Or you could strike it with your horns.
Yeah, I'll do a charge.
You don't want to hurt your hands.
Headbutt it.
Yeah, so you can roll you an attack roll if you like for your horns or whatever you've got.
I thought I had just a
I don't know if you have your horns on there or an unarmed strike, or you could just do like a d20 with. Ooh. So yeah, pointy things, like if you ever tried to stab a very flat plane, it's very deflecty. So you kind of go to bash it with your horns, and it kind of like slides a little bit, and you don't harm yourself or anything. You just don't get like a real solid hit. But even in that hit, it's to use real world example, it feels less like rapping on a window and more like tapping a tank in an aquarium. Like there's no echo to it. There's no resonance. It's like boom, like thick feeling. You don't feel give from it.
I don't like this place. Let me out.
Let him out. He's claustrophobic.
A claustrophobic minotaur.
That's it.
He can't find a way out of the maze, and that's troublesome. There's not a
That's right.
clear path just
He needs his
somewhere.
path.
It doesn't have to go anywhere, but he just has to have a path.
That's right. At least when he's moving, he feels better.
Moving.
That's it.
Okay. Yeah, so about now is when Dr. Min appears at your door and presses a button like, above table, like he did with Karos's, and the glass seemingly disappears. And he says, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to leave you in distress. Didn't realize you'd be waking so early."
Who are you and why am I in this place? I do not like it. Let me out.
I am Dr. Min. You are in a medical facility owned by the Helios Corporation. And I'm afraid I can't let you out right now because we're not sure if you're a threat to yourself or others yet.
Anubis kind of flexes. I'm definitely a threat to others. And he does kind of flexes a little bit. But what are you talking about? What is the Helios Corporation? What is this?
I see. And he kind of makes notes of it on his... he pulls up this illusory pad, makes notes on it, and causes it to disappear. The Helios Corporation is like a business, but larger. They own many of the buildings around here. Many of the services and facilities, including this one. Basically, everything here is provided through funding from Helios. As for why you're here, you arrived to us all but dead, and we managed to bring you back from the brink via the implant in your chest. He gestures to it. But it's potentially dangerous, so we're holding you for further tests before we release you.
Why did you put something in me and not just let me die? Die is a good process. It's natural. This isn't! And he points to it.
Well, to be frank, there was a somewhat selfish reason for me to do that. Without going into too much detail, you and your friends are leveled, and that's rather rare in our world. It's a particular aptitude with your implant. It allows you to use it in ways that other people wouldn't be able to. And we had no other viable candidates for your implant, so I'm afraid bringing you back to life was in my interest as well, as we desperately need to study these things.
Well, I do know I'm special. And then he tries to he kind of
Makes a note of that.
Still kind of gets annoyed a little bit. So I think at this point he's going to try to just start to try to push, because that the doctor you said showed up and the class kind of seemingly opened when we're having this conversation. I feel like at this point, even though Anubis is hearing this, he's not understanding out of it and getting more annoyed. He's going to try to push his way out of this room, kind of push past, not in an aggressive manner, but just kind of like clearly wanting to leave. So as he I guess he starts to approach to do that.
Yeah. So the glass is only apparently gone. As you approach it, you hit the same glass wall that was there a moment ago.
So,
I'm afraid.
So he's like, I have special bunk.
And Dr. Min will say, "Tell me, you and your friends' appearances. Cosmetic augments are not exactly rare." He kind of gestures to himself, who is covered in cybernetic enhancements. But I have to say, these configurations are not all that common.
Are you speaking of these? And he points to his horns. He points to his lips. What are you referring to?
I guess my question is, are you human?
He's offended. And says, "No, I'm actually a minotaur. We are proud, large, bovine-looking creatures. Very strong.
And
apparently not against whatever this magic glass is."
he goes, makes a note, and he goes, "I'm glad we can use that term freely."
Well, only
I'll be honest, we're internally already calling you a Minotaur. And it makes it somewhat easier on us.
Well, I was only born this way by my mother and father, so I was not created. I was just created this way, born this way, with flesh. Unlike all that, he gestures to the metal and the upgrades that you're wearing. That's more my ally Karosa's thing. Who likes the metal?
Yes, he seemed unfazed. And he'll kind of turn and gesture to one of the aides and say, "Well, sit tight for a moment. Hopefully we can get you out of there soon." And
Please hurry.
Kind of before you can protest, he steps away and enters Alibaba's room.
When he steps away, am I able to watch him, or is the glass kind of like fog out?
Yeah, he's kind of going right across the way. So you see him step away for a little bit before. Is there something in particular you wanted to look for?
I think Anubis is now just super curious, so he's trying to watch up and down the hallway.
Okay. So you saw him with one aide, and you do see him go in a door across the hallway. And he said that he was going to see your friend, did he? I don't remember what I said now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can surmise that right across from you is one of your pals.
Okay.
I
just leave my
but other than that,
skull
you
against
see his
the
medical
window.
aid. When he first arrived, well, tell you what, hit me with a perception check. Let's make this a roll. Rollin'.
I've not been
Roll
rolling perception well.
Well, then you're due one. There you go. That's pretty good. Yeah, so when he first walked up, you saw that his aide pulled up something and kind of flicked it to him. Her own illusory tablet. And when he left, the aide stayed. So you can kind of surmise that while he's kind of a floater over the facility, the aides are assigned to you personally. So this is not his assistant. This is specifically like your carer, at least for now. Like your nurse.
Okay.
So yeah, and they kind of all have these extra arm augments, but Dr. Min's is actually implanted inside him, and theirs are an attachment, like a what's it called? An accessory.
kind of.
Yes. So it seems to be kind of typical of medical professionals here, but he has a more dedicated assembly to him. All right, Alibaba. You have been unconscious this whole time. So what I'm going to have you do, as this medical staff is desperately trying to save your life as you have partially rejected this implant, I'm going to have you roll a death saving throw.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
How exciting. I love death saving throws. That is a success.
All right.
So mark you off as success as they bring out new fluids and new medicines, chemicals to shut down your body's rejection of this. They managed to get you through a stage of this rejection process. Go ahead and hit me with another death save. See if we can pull through this. That is a failed death save. As they are unaccustomed to your tiefling physiology. You have not just the human blood that they are accustomed to, but you have demon blood in you, something that this world has not yet seen. And so there is a bad reaction to their medicines. Let's do more death saves. One more, please. Another success, as your body's intrinsic magic helps convert their terrestrial medicine into something useful for your survival. Let's do another save.
Get a nat 20 right here. Pop up.
Amazing. We're in live or die range here, baby.
That's crazy. You'll have to make a new guy. You'll be this weird robot
We'll
guy
make a whole
from
new
now
guy.
on.
Robotic Satan.
But yes, your body's resources are running out, as you could make it through, but time's running out. It's kind of a question of, is there enough oomph left in you to pull it together or not? Give me that last death save.
Let's go. Let's do
Oh, we've made it. You have pulled through. How exciting. They've got to pull out the paddles and shock yous. But rather than pulling out the paddles, it's paddles singular, which they plug into the implant, kind of just contact on it. And you, in your state of troubled unconscious, hear that whispered word, ignition, and snap. You two are awake. But the difference is, you are in a room with these people. There are two aides and Dr. Min, who you are not yet familiar with.
What was that?
So you find yourself in a cold medical room. Your table is a little bit more... Pardon?
Ignition.
What was that word?
Ignition.
Ignition is the word.
Okay.
Rather than like the bare bones, just cold medical table, you are on an actual like operating table with much more sophisticated devicery around you. They've been trying to save your life for a little while now. And you see this man who we know as Dr. Min say, he's conscious, strap him down, and immediately on your hands and feet, metal bars lock you to the table. How do you react to this sudden thrusting into an unfamiliar world?
I feel like Alibaba would be smart enough not to like immediately react. Like he would almost like
The guile.
like barely open his eyes to see what's going on, and kind of like pretend.
Well, if you want to retcon, you can try to conceal that you've become conscious, and we can roll that back. I'll leave that with you if you want to do that. Why don't you hit me with... I can see a few different avenues to this, depending on how you want to do it. This could be a deception check if you want that. It could be a performance. It could even be a stealth. It's kind of, I think, how you're trying to pull it off.
I think it would just be deception, probably. He would just...
Sounds good. So you're trying to play a convincing, still unconscious man. Ooh, very nice check. So we'll roll that back a little bit. You are not instantly strapped down. After the shock, and you hear this ignition word. Because you're thrust into reality with an unfoggied mind, and instantly alert, your instincts kick in, where in fight or flight you pick that third option of let's just wait and see. And
I'd like to think he's trained
fashion.
himself to kind of yeah.
Anytime you wake up from like a night out or something like that, you're like, let me assess first.
Yeah.
Could be weird. So as you come to consciousness, I assume you're keeping your eyes closed as part of the deception. But you can still hear. You can hear that people are shuffling about, and Dr. Min is facing away from you, saying, "It's not working. What else haven't we tried?" And he's kind of rifling through the medical instruments around you. You can hear the aides shuffling around. So they're, Dr. Min is solidly not paying attention to you right now, but it's probably going to be a check if you want to try to do something while they're not paying attention, because they're moving around quite a bit. You'd have to hit just the right time, depending on what you want to do.
Well, I think he would try to do fiery teleportation.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Nice.
To move, he wouldn't even know where he was going, obviously, but he would just try to move from that situation. You let me know.
Yeah. So you try to do this as you have before, and find yourself not fiery teleporting as you would like to. Whatever activation that took form of in you, when you do it, it doesn't trigger how you want it to.
Yeah. I also would imagine that he was like preparing to run immediately after the teleportation, so he sort of would jerk, and then go back to trying to be still. But at this point, he's gonna probably want to like barely open his eyes after that and try to see if he can look around and get his bearings.
Yeah, okay. Give me another deception check, and we'll see if you can get a look around without being noticed. So yeah, by kind of hearing the aides as they shuffle around, you're able to kind of sense a gap where everyone seems like they're busy, and you kind of quickly open your eyes and peep around. You can see that there are 2 medical aides and 1 machine man in your room with you. You're surrounded by very... to you, they're the most foreign because you had... Though you're, well-traveled in the seedy underbellies of probably numerous cities, you didn't necessarily roll with the wealthy or the well-off as often. So, medical tech, cutting-edge stuff, not necessarily your forte. So this is quite foreign to you, quite alien. It probably almost feels like a hybrid of like Elven and Dwarven designs because it has like the brutalist efficiency of Dwarven, like right angles and big metal walls, but like at the same time everything's smooth and sleek and like
Those bastards
weirdly
did it. They finally got it
ergonomic.
wrong.
Yeah. So
Very
it's
cool.
like, but it's like no particular style you've seen before. But you do notice that there's a door out of this room, and it appears to you to be open.
I think before he acted again, he would just consciously take stock of his own body and try to determine if he can feel the flask, against him or on his pocket, because that's very important.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably fairly easy to sense what's going on with your own body. That's not going to require a check or anything because you can tell what's going on. You have no belongings on you. You are laid out on a metal table. You don't even have a medical smock on. Like, they were doing intensive surgery on you. They were doing rescue medical care. They didn't have time to mess with your dignity, so you are naked on a table.
All right. I think
And
Alibaba would try to roll off the table, and if he saw the curtain, he would try to grab the curtain and throw it up or throw it out to kind of distract the other entities in the room and then flee for that door. That would be what he would try to do.
Okay. So here's how I'd like, if you like this, how I'd like to play that. So basically you can attempt this in 2 different ways. You can do a stealth check just to try to get out of the room, or the curtain thing. You can do a performance check, and if that's good enough, it'll give you advantage on the stealth check to get out of the room.
Okay. I'll do the performance first.
But also, potentially, depending on how terrible the performance could potentially go,
If it's really bad.
there's a world where that hinders your stealth chances as well. So it's kind of like risk
Never
reward.
tell me the odds.
Yeah, sounds good. So give me a performance check.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's great. You can have advantage on. You can toggle the advantage as well. You can have advantage on a stealth check to get out of this room.
All right.
Nice. Look at that. We love when it counts.
Let's go.
So yeah, with a deft roll and a knowledgeable, trained art of chaos, you you roll off and fling this sheet with a terrible clang of metal as the poles, which are just bottom bitter, low quality tent poles, clang to the floor, easily encompassing all 3 of the people in the room, who all they know is a curtain hit them in the face and a bunch of noise has been made. They're quite easily shocked. This is exactly that. Very good meme.
Yeah, it was a little different for me.
if you haven't seen that SNL skit, that's what's happening right here in
Check
front of us. And you are able to kind of duck low to the floor and scamper out of the room. So now you are in the hallway.
It worked.
And I'll say, as of this moment, no one's keenly aware of what's going on. I mean, you can surmise the people in the room they don't know where you've gone, but they probably know that you've gone, because the curtain got thrown on them, right?
You're not there.
And then that's going to depend on how well he conceals the fact that he's done this now that he's in the hallway.
So I'm just
So you've been into the hallway
tiefling.
and you're not. It's not a given you've been seen. You haven't made particular noise. So why don't we let you get the lay of your land? Hit me with a perception check, and we'll see what you see as you pop out. Okay, pretty mid perception check. So you're real quick clocking. You see two people. There's one of these medical aides quite near you, and another one down the hall. And a quick glance straight ahead. You do clock Amubis. He's a giant cowman in a glass wall in front of you. Pretty easy to
He's literally
to
pressing
notice.
his face up to the glass, looking
like,
at literally everything.
He's like doing that.
I said
like-
that's what I did. My head was against the wall this whole time. So yeah, I've got my skull like pressed up
you're just
against
like
it.
Yeah.
you're got
It's hilarious.
And so
Okay.
let's see what you clock. So, and then as you just quick look each way, in both directions, like of this map here, there are doors that you can't tell too much about, but there's a door that way and there is a door that way. And what would you like to do next? And we'll worry about what that will entail once
I
you
think
decide.
upon seeing Amubis, he would immediately try to help. So
Bro.
yeah, he's run away too many times. He just subconsciously feels bad about it at this point. So he would probably grapple this aid
Sure.
or attempt to, and then back against the glass, holding the aid, and try to use the aid as a hostage to force them to let Amubis out.
Thank you, friend.
Alright, so you're gonna get the jump on this aid. And attempt to grapple them. So this is gonna be an athletics check from you for the grapple.
Okay.
And that's... I don't know how advantage disadvantage works with grappling, but if it's like surprise, I guess I'd give you advantage. And would it be advantage and disadvantage? I don't know.
I could just do normal. That's fine. So athletics.
No, I mean, because you're sneaking up on them, I definitely want to give a benefit to that.
Okay.
So
I think it would end up being advantage. So.
yeah,
Alright.
I guess my question would be advantage and disadvantage, or just advantage.
I
Hard to
will
say.
roll advantage, and
Sounds good.
you can decide.
Yeah, we'll just do
what they
advantage,
roll.
disadvantage, because they're very small. Surprise, they're not a combatant. Nice, pretty good roll for a -1.
For a -1, for sure.
Yeah.
Let me. Sorry, I just need some of the more complete character sheet to roll this. No offense. My delightful medical aid, but I was kind of rushed making them, so they don't have a full character sheet.
This is just
Is this guy?
hilarious in a way to just imagine this. Like,
Pick the
I
wrong
love
party
it.
to hospitalize.
There's just gonna be like cheek prints on the glass.
Oh,
like...
here we go. This guy's great.
I was waiting for the time to say it, but Karos has dismantled every machine in this room, trying to figure out what they all do. I did want to mention that.
Oh, cool.
He's been attempting to figure these guys the fuck
I'll
out.
deal with that in a moment. Alright, so no, I'm gonna do disadvantage here.
Ooh.
Oh wow.
She's fine.
Alright, so even with advantage, disadvantage, and no ability mod.
The most generous possible. Just an incredible roller. Greatest he's ever done.
Yeah. Unfortunately, while deception and sneakiness are your forte, the physical grappling with a human is not your forte, and there's one major hurdle to that, and that's surprisingly, this person has a fully dexterous third arm, essentially, and as you try to grapple, you do so in a way that would be quite effective on a two-armed person, and then their third mechanical use arm is just able to kind of shove your face and just get you right off of your balance here. And this person's still quite shocked, so I think you're still good to do something else, like have another reaction to this turn of events, and then we'll deal with what might have to happen after that.
Okay.
So if you have a backup plan, I don't know if you want to try again. I think you wouldn't have quite the same advantages this time, but I think it would still be reasonable to try to grapple them again. If you wanted to try to break from them and move on, I don't influence what you want to do.
I think he would probably, try to persuade somehow this aide to let my friend out, like maybe through intimidation.
Let my people go.
You don't know what I'm capable of. Let him out, or you'll see. And going with this social method.
Bit of an intimidating.
Yeah, hit her with an intimidation.
Okay. Where? There we go.
Nice. It's pretty good intimidation. So you see, like, as you say this, as a butt-naked red devil man, while she does look shocked at those things, when you say you don't want to know what I'm capable of, she immediately looks down at the implant in your chest, and that seems to terrify her more than the other odd things about you right now. What are you trying to get her to do? Do you have demands for her? Because she's intimidated.
Yeah. Open this glass door is what I'm trying to get her to do, so Mubis can come out.
She's kind of stuttering, scared, but still, like, in the realm of reason. So she looks at you and she says, I can't. You don't know what they could do.
I don't care. Whatever you're saying is stupid. Open the door.
Yeah, that's all the protesting she has in her right now. So yeah, she's gonna touch the panel on Amubis's door, and it will open.
Ooh, sweet. Alibaba! Thank you! Where are your clothes?
You have clothes! Where do you get clothes?
Why do you have clothes?
This is not what I wanted to see from you today, but thank you for freeing me.
Throw that pillow to me from the bed.
Duh!
So I think this is probably about the time where, like, people have gotten a grip on themselves. So let's just do an initiative order just to
nice.
Just to establish some things going on if I can find initiative order.
Dang rules.
I don't need to measure anything. Clear list. Clear. Okay.
And I'm just standing
So
there.
go
with
ahead
the
and drop
pillow.
yourselves in there. Token. Hello? Oh, I'm still in a measuring tool somehow.
Nice.
I don't want to. No, I want to click on the thing.
Very quick on the draw there.
Enable fog of war. What are you talking about?
It's the fog.
I like.
of the war.
I like suddenly can't click anything. Okay, here we go.
I guess I'll come here too, but I'll just forego everything.
Yeah.
until
Toss
it's
yourself
actually-
in there. We're gonna cover what you're up to because there's been a little bit of time since we interacted with you, so we'll cover that in just a moment. Probably on your turn, because these things are not necessarily made aware to you.
Yeah, no, I don't think I'm aware at all. I think this class has proven to be
Let's
quite
have a look.
soundproof.
Let's have a look.
I always feel like I'm making a secret pun when I say soundproof, but it doesn't mean anything to anyone else.
Yeah, this is fun. Do this.
Holy
That one
crap.
did not.
It did. Got a nat 20.
Oh, is he in the turn order there? No, he's not.
Oh, no, he's not in the turn order, but he did get a nat 20, which is impressive.
Press. Very nice. Alright, let's... Oh, because that wasn't an initiative that I rolled. It was a dex check. Well, we'll go with the initiative. The dex check doesn't count. That's on me. Alright, so we're gonna... These medical aids in here. Happy trails to you.
I'm imagining a ridiculous outfit right now,
Mhm.
where the blanket is like a cape,
That's awesome.
and the pillow is.
Are you gonna try to dress yourself with stuff?
Stuff from the room that Amubis gives. I don't know. I wouldn't have time though. Really, all this has probably happened very fast.
Initiative.
Unmoves through you a medical bed sheet.
Oops.
Perfect.
He ties it into a turban. He's like, and now one for the genitals.
Respectful.
Did you guys climb it? Did you go ahead and level up? And did you battle armor?
I haven't leveled up, and I don't know what HP I'm at or anything.
Okay.
I have not.
I buffed my HP.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it right now.
I think we're just acting. I don't think anyone's gonna kill us.
if you want to do stuff that interacts with that, we can deal with that as it comes.
Okay.
But we'll start with the general of what people are doing. I think we were just beyond the point where it wouldn't be reasonable to start an initiative. All right, Amubis, you Alibaba forces this medical aid to open your door. What do you do?
I think at first I'm going to call for Alibaba, so if I could have a vocal free action and just kind of call for him.
Yeah, you can converse if you guys want.
And probably don't hear him, right? Because as we talked about.
Oh, you mean me?
Yeah.
Karos?
Yeah.
You said Alibaba.
Oh, Karos?
Who was right next to you.
Yeah, sorry.
But yes, no, you.
No, I've already.
No, you
thanked
call
Alibaba.
for Karos.
I called for Karos.
Yes, you call for Karos and receive no reply. Karos, you do not hear.
Word.
Then I think I want to try my hand at intimidating the lady to find out his location.
All right,
So
let's bully this poor one.
Yeah, we're just bullying the crap out of her. Where's Rachel? Where's Rachel?
No, yeah, you go to intimidate her. I guess what are you saying specifically? Where's Karos?
Where's Karos?
Or where's my friend? I don't know how vague you're being.
Where's my robot friend?
And she collapses into a ball on the floor and just starts weeping and saying, "I've already done too much." and kind of really shuts down.
This one is done.
Some random poor nurse.
All right, Alibaba, I'm gonna split up, and then he's gonna go to use his movement to go down the left side of the hallway.
Movement. Sounds good. You can move your movement. I guess this way.
Does
movement.
Anubis see the sun here?
Do I see the sun? It's a great.
Oh, very good.
Good call.
Will you try to, Amubis?
Yes. I
Um,
look up, just try to find the sun.
yeah, you try to see the sun, and you do. It is on a flat plane to you. Probably, you'd estimate a few miles away.
I see the sun! I see the sun!
Here comes the sun. Do, do, do.
20, 25,
It's
30.
very
Beautiful.
close.
She's right here in the fetal position.
I get to that far down the hallway with my movement, and I
Sounds good.
And I turn back to Alibaba and shout that this is not good. I'm tracking the sun. Don't know where we are, but this is not what I remember before we got in that last fight.
This is
Yes, it's-
very strange to me.
Yeah, we'll move on to Alibaba's turn.
Okay. Yeah, Alibaba just. So are you leaving now, Amobis?
He said to split up, I think,
Uh,
before
okay.
he did it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Alibaba
Scarper.
looks back at Amobis. Don't go too far. There's a lot of work to get you out of there. And then he goes down this way to the right, I guess towards the aid, walking very trying to intimidate as much as possible while naked in a bed sheet.
I mean, I think
Yeah.
you are terribly intimidating as a creature they've never seen before walking naked in a bed sheet. I don't think I could be more intimidated.
Was it Metal Gear Solid 2? I think it was, where you were naked. In that scene, you were like completely naked,
where you're
walking
riding.
around. Is
Just
riding, yeah, creeping around
Yeah.
hallways and stuff like this.
That's fun.
So it's like,
Yes, the many
Never played a
references
Metal
of my
Gear.
campaign that are intentional.
Gonna
Yeah,
do
so are you
a
explicitly
perception?
trying to intimidate her? Like, is there something you'd like her to do?
Well, yeah, since this one isn't done, he would probably try to intimidate her into getting information about.
Yeah, I'd say as you get up
Karos.
here, you can see Karos through the window. I mean, you're passing right by a window.
Okay.
It's a pretty small room, maybe 10 feet long or whatever, and less
All right, so
wide.
it's not fogged. So he
No.
points at the window and says, "Release him."
All right, let's see.
you found him?
Intimidation.
He is here, Amubus. Let me see. Intimidation, normal.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, these people here, this staff is not willing to die over this, and they are quite intimidated by not only you yourself, but also this amorphous, which you know nothing about, but this amorphous threat of this implant that you have in you now, and she kind of startled, just immediately slaps the door and opens it. And like I said, on your turn, Karos, we'll cover what you've been up to, and then we'll move all the way up to what's happening now. Anything else from you, Alibaba? So she slapped the door open for you.
That's it.
Well, if she's intimidated, I guess she does that on her turn, which is lucky because she's up next. So, yeah. So first up, she taps Karos's door, and then she's going to attempt to just turn tail and run. So,
You gonna stop her?
runs up to. It's kind of off screen here, but this area kind of opens up. It's got like lockers and stuff for the medical staff. It's kind of more of a, not really like a employee lounge, but like a little bit more of a their space. There's scrubbing in areas and stuff like that. And then there's also a door there, which she's again going to scan herself in on, and then slam it behind her. And pull herself out of the situation. Alright, now we have Dr. Min and Karos. But Karos, you're going, unless you have a negative dex modifier, you're going to go first.
No, I've got a positive 1.
Alright, so you are going to go above Dr. Min. So you were saying that you were trying to
I'd like to investigate the technology that is in my room. Yeah.
All right.
I appear to have some sort of terminal or something, and I think I'm on that as soon as he leaves. I'm interested in the technology, and I'd also like to know if it's going to spit some like lorem ipsum at me so that I can figure out if this is the path or not. That's kind of my bent. Is I'm curious how we got thrown out of the path if we're not in.
So I think there's a couple of ways this can happen. You have none of your tools on you, which is a typical artificer's venue to do a lot of their stuff. But you always have your brain on you, obviously. And
20 intellect.
A brilliant mind, indeed.
Brain the size of a planet.
So, here's a few ways I think you go about it. You could be trying to see what's there. Just like take stock, take inventory. You could try to, like you said, explicitly be like, are these things real? Are they magic? Are they technology? Are they... What's the essence of these things here? Or take individual things and be like, what procedure is this for? Like, so what kind of like more narrowly are you trying to?
Yeah,
do you hope to accomplish here?
I'm pretty aware
because you were already able to be like, okay, these are just medical devices here.
Yeah, I'm aware that everything that is around me seems to be pretty mundane. Like I don't have magic. It doesn't seem to have magic. I'd like to figure out things I don't know. I want to know the source of where the power is coming from. I want to know, like, if there's a terminal in my room that I can type on at all. I'm typing on that. I think I figure it out reasonably quickly, iPad baby style, where, like, I just kind of somehow intuitively know, like, a little bit how to use these sorts of things.
Okay. Yeah, I think...
I'd be cool to
I think this would be fine in investigation check. Pardon?
I'd be cool to roll a straight in and just see where that takes us.
I was trying to decide if like Arcana would be appropriate here, even though it's not magic. It's kind of like the essence of things a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think investigation is fine too, since they're that's the kind of
equal for me.
Sussing things out, I think, is fine.
Oh my gosh!
Big numbers.
All right. What a fun time to pull out a nat 20.
I'm like, I have to think if there's like enough information to like give you. I don't have enough to give you. I will say that so you examine things, and based on what you already saw of Dr. Min doing various things around you, that their illusory tablets seem to be how almost everything operates around here. You can see there's no, like the devices, there's no buttons on them. There is no cords for things that plug into the wall. There isn't a UI on almost anything around. It's almost so you can surmise. You almost sitting there in your hospital bed, invent Bluetooth, and be like, this must be how everything connects. And it doesn't seem all that forward to you. That's probably only a few steps away from the kind of technology that you would like to work with. And obviously, there's certain.
I can make
like
leaps with magic that don't happen in the
and
real
it doesn't
world.
mean that what you're doing is inferior. It's just like, if you had magic, of course you'd use it. You'd be stupid not.
Magic too.
It's like somewhere that does have access to the sun. It's like, we're going to use solar power here and there because we have the sun.
Yeah.
If we didn't have the sun, we'd find another way, obviously. So
you could generate bioluminescence a lot earlier if you needed to.
Yeah, so you're able to fathom the types of things that are around you, but as of right now, you don't have access to them.
So I think I made a pretty good impression. So I'm just gonna ask the doctor later to look at his stuff because we're all so chill. We're all being kind and respectful.
Let me ask you this: what was the cantrip you got from your racial?
That's create bonfire.
Okay, I'll give you that as your bonus of roll 20. You kind of feel like you could still create bonfire if you wanted to.
Solid.
But the as you're kind of poking around, trying to interact with things, the rest of your magic is not working.
Word.
All right. So now we'll get to Dr. Min here.
Sorry, we were also going to say briefly that Alibaba.
That's right.
Just I think he opens the room.
Now you get your actual turn. Sorry, that was just back. You're right.
Sitting there. Hello. They let you out. I heard you were worse for wear.
You talked to people? Okay. Well, me and the movies are escaping now. If you want to come.
I can see the sun!
It's wonderful, Anubis. Sure, I'll come with. I'm sure we can sort this out regardless. I'm gonna walk into the hallway and I'll sort of ready my action to move along if Alibaba moves along, but I'm gonna stick with him. We have no real ability to do anything else, so I'm just gonna sort of in solidarity stand with them.
Cool. So you pop out of the room.
Yeah, I think I grabbed if there were any electrical equipment, I probably just have a small bundle of maybe it is the defibrillators that they use. I found something to just sort of make me feel like I may be able to tinker something later if I needed to.
Yeah. Why don't we say that you can find enough, I don't know, vaguely pointed things, vaguely scoopy things that if you had to do a Tinker's Tools check, you could do a disadvantaged Tinker Tools check. These are a disadvantaged Tinker Tools. We'll call them jury-rigged Tinker Tools. So,
jury-rigged Tinker Tools.
Still gives you access to attempt that, but it just isn't going to be
it isn't very good. Yeah.
Designed for that purpose necessarily.
Nope.
Good deal.
And my turn.
So, Dr. Min. So he's in a room none of you can see right now. So I don't think I'll tell you exactly what he's doing.
Good riddance.
But so you are all in the hallway when you suddenly hear over loudspeakers, lockdown protocol initiated, and you see blast doors cover the two doors that lead to outside, as well as all the individual cells close off, but none of you are in them right now. So that happens first, and then a moment later, the door where Alibaba previously was, which locked down, releases its lockdown, and Dr. Min steps out, and anyone who wants to give me an insight check, or all of y'all,
I'll get on that.
on this feller.
Garbage at it.
It's fine.
Oh,
It's fine to be
he's
garbage
graded
at
it
things.
and failed.
Pretty mid.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's inscrutable.
Yeah, so as he steps out, you can see an agitated look on his face as he's kind of frantically pressing buttons on his tablet. And he's going to shout at you, please stop. We need you no harm. We saved your lives.
But wouldn't let us go.
I've heard that before.
I told you before, it's not safe.
It does seem where we might not be on the path. Either that or Min himself is one of the previous path walkers. He seems all right with the concept. I'm honestly genuinely I'm pretty sure we fell out. I think we're out of the path now. I think we might have really almost been dead.
Well,
I don't know what
explains the
happened,
sun.
though.
Yeah, I will say that previously when you had seen the sun, especially when you're on the path, it seemed like a very, very distant dot, more like a star. When now it feels close. It feels really close.
I mean, what did you expect? I woke up in a strange place, surrounded by strange people with no clothes.
He does seem to be nude.
Oh, he's nude all right.
We were performing surgery. Look, we've never done these implants to save lives before. There was no precedent. I know we've made mistakes, but please just let me tell you about what's been done. Then you can decide if you want to leave or not. I just don't want my people to be hurt.
I know your experiences were different than mine, but I did hear them before the surgery, and it did seem like they were genuinely concerned for us. I do, I sort of was taken out last and in a sort of coup de grace type manner. So I think I managed to retain some of my consciousness, and I think we should hear him out.
Of course.
I'm sorry to your nurses. It appears my compatriot has scared them quite terribly.
I am sorry, ma'am.
We're all a little bit unfamiliar with the circumstances, it seems.
No, it's fine. I know I know this all must be confusing, but I promise it'll make more sense soon.
We could start
Amubis, are you
get
all
this
right?
out. And he's back to clawing at his implant. This is not natural. I didn't ask for this. I don't like it.
I was wondering if I should warn you about him or not. It seems I should have warned you about both of them.
I'm sorry, it's not going to be possible to remove that. It's replaced your heart.
What?
Does that feel true? Like, can I...
Like, check your pulse.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah, I without knowing much medical knowledge, like an artificial heart, it's a steady flow rather than a pulse. It's a constant flow of blood through your body, a circulation.
Do artificial hearts really flow blood not pulsingly?
I think they can. Maybe like when you're on a machine, it does. I think there's a weird scenario where that happens.
I want to feel like the pulsations of the heart are important to the human body, but
is that just because it's a muscle and that's the only way we function?
yeah, but it's just like if you look at it all stretched out, it's just like sort of a bit of meat all wrapped around itself and just like constricting.
What did you do with my real heart? It was fine. It was a little greased up in the pipes, but where is it?
It's hard to explain. It's not gone per se. It gets folded into the engine.
Where is my flask? Very important.
I don't seem to have magic here of any variety. I can't cast any, and he hadn't heard of it. Well, he might have heard of it, but he wasn't. It's not here.
I can't explain everything about your old world, but I can explain some of the stuff about what's going on here.
Do you know about other worlds?
I haven't. Nothing like this has happened before, but I have to assume you talk about magic, you talk about not being human.
There's no one planes in my world. I'm not certain this is even another plane, though.
That's an acceptable term, and he makes a note of that, canonizing it in their universe.
Also, don't like you writing down everything we say.
I do, actually. Very reassuring.
Science is nonsense if you don't document.
Feel monitored, and I don't like it.
He's right.
I'm sorry. Again, the selfish portion of this saving procedure was that we could learn more about these implants and what they could do for people.
He just has a flashback of being misquoted by like a town crier in the news, and so like he's just a little shy of the media, and so he's a little has dramatic flashbacks.
Stop writing about me.
Yeah.
What was it we heard when we woke up? Ignition?
Hot and fresh out the kitchen.
He makes a note of that. He says, perhaps that could have been the engine, I suppose. I don't know. From what I understand, they can interact with people in different ways. Perhaps that's how it manifested with you.
Are there others with these?
Yes, and that's why it's so important that we learn about your experience.
Can we learn about theirs?
I can tell you what we know, but they're... I wouldn't need you if they were open about what was going on.
What's your end game with us? Were you just going to keep testing us and keep us here for a long time? Like, what's your plan?
Well, as I said, I wanted to learn more about your implants was my primary concern. And, you know, a non-zero factor was saving your lives. You were in distress, and I had the power to do so, so I do feel some sense of obligation there. But let's talk somewhere else. It's not safe here. And he taps some stuff on his tablet, and you hear lockdown lifted, and the doors come up, and he says to the aides, "You're all dismissed. Go home for the day. There will be hazard pay in your next paycheck." And he just gestures for you to follow him.
I could use some pavement.
Yeah, I'll go.
Yeah, the nurses all immediately are like, "Oh, cool."
Yeah. Oh, please.
As you pass, he leads you kind of to the right here. Here, I'm gonna get them. If you choose to follow him, he leads you kind of to the right here, and gestures towards the lockers. He says there isn't, terrific threads here, but there's certainly some like jumpsuits that in all sizes that should fit you. So, we can get you proper clothes at some point in the future, but this will do for now. And so there are just Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
He would follow, is what I'm.
If you choose to, in the lockers, there are just gray jumpsuits that say Helios on them, and it has like a yellow hexagon as its symbol. Just real basic, word art, like very, very corporation-y.
I'll slide one on. They seem
sort
stylish.
Of medium gray, neither light nor dark gray, just onesie jumpsuits.
I wore many a coverall in my tinkering, so I think this is solid.
And they have, I'm guessing, I don't know your exact sizes compared to each other. I think I always assumed Karos was kind of under his armor, not all that big.
I think that's canon.
Yeah, not like especially small, but maybe in terms of like
we're all
skinniness,
pretty weak.
The thinness. Yeah, Amubis is quite tall, but not the most jacked Minotaur in the universe, shall we say? By strength score, he's more of a dexterous Minotaur.
That's true. But upon hearing jumpsuits, he's like, "Well, I don't need a suit to jump. I'm pretty good at it."
You do not have a ring of jumping on you, so you are
slightly worse at it, at least.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll tighten this up real quick, and then let's just move to another map. He leads you down a series of like stairs and corridors, all kind of going downward. If you try to engage him, he just holds a finger to his lips and keeps leading you forward until he takes you into a more wide open room that seems to be like a recommissioned hangar, but it's deep inside the building. So it was maybe a hangar from whatever this area used to be, and then they built large medical facilities on top of it. But he does a few taps on his tablet, swipes it away, and says, "I'm sorry, Helios is monitoring just about everything in their building. This is from older days. They don't have they still have monitoring devices, but they're not as efficient at flagging things as the others. The other reason is, in this world, people with those implants have disproportional power and disproportional coordination. There's kind of no hope for anyone but those who have them. You're the first people we've found who had sufficient leveling that you could maybe make a difference here."
Do your people ever kill a lot of like giant rats or other people, or sort of get sent along vision quest like paths to kill a lot of things? Is that why you can't level? Have you tried killing things?
I have not. I am the head physician. Things have died in my care. I can't deny that. But the leveling system doesn't seem to be tied to that. Our criminals don't seem to be leveled any further than the common man. I think it's something else here. Maybe a coalition of power. Tends to be the heads of these corporations who are able to best utilize these engines. But again, it's not common knowledge. They keep it very hush-hush. There's even many who don't know or don't believe that these are being utilized behind the scenes. But it is a key component to their power. And I'd like to show you what they can do. He says, "What the implants I've given you are considered very taboo on our world. They're called fighting engines, and they can give you incredible powers, maybe that seem like the magic from your world. And I can help you use them. And I think we'll stop pretty much there, because we can cover that a little bit more in
Next time.
the next session. But
Excited. New
yeah, so
power set.
we'll kind of just to end it a little bit more dramatically.
We got reverse isekai into a normal mundane world.
Yeah, exactly. We'll end it on a little bit more dramatic note with him saying, "I believe all we need to get started is for you to say your activation word, ignition." So
We cut to the ending
there you
credits. That show off way too much of the actual plot, showing off our cool powers.
It's like it's the whole
enemies.
it's like the whole final battle.
Yeah. With me,
All right, guys.
doing jet boots and stuff, and
hopefully
we could replicate all our powers reasonably well with like mechanical.
Fun.
Generator
yeah, that was
parts.
cool. I'm in like.
I'm interested. I'm seated. Call me.
In.
Yeah.
Nice.
Interested.
Well, that was a lot of fun. This is an idea I've been kicking around in various forms for like literally decades. So hopefully I can do it some justice.
Always good to be able to use D&D as an outlet for these things that stick in your craw.
Yeah. So hopefully it's going to be pretty fun. We can go into what it means to have these things and what they can do for you.
Great.
And I've also given you each a handout that is going to get way more fleshed out, but it is the very, very barest bones basics of what your fighting engine can do for you. And I'm going to update that as more stuff is revealed to you. And
cool.
Yeah, and that is the name of this particular world is just IBFE for the Immoral Behemoth Fighting Engine.
It was in the name of the stream.
It was. So was Ignition. Yeah, so looking forward to a couple weeks from now, getting y'all back into this, making it happen. So thanks, PU2.
Sure thing. Thank you, PSami. That's another Unbeaten Path, and what a twist we've gone down now on Unbeaten Path. Thank you, PSami. This is exciting as we learn more about this world that we're in with engines and a bunch of things that my character Amubis is against. So that should be a fun role play for me as well. So thank you all for joining us. We will be back on our other campaign, The Piece of Eight, next week. So we're going to start these up now that we've gotten going here in 2025, and neither cold weather nor snow will slow us down. So we're looking forward to another session of that next week. So just find us here on the channel on that Monday. And this is PU2 Cru saying thank you and have a good night.